Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
A new study exposes who among us is least likely to reward good service with a generous tip.
A man who doled out the deadliest drug ever to hit the streets is paying a steep price for his role in the opioid epidemic.
And he was just doing his job, but then a hit-and-run driver ended his life. Tonight we're learning more about who this man was and who's going to miss him the most. We'll start there tonight at 6. Good to have you with us. A retired auto worker, devoted family man at age 65, it seemed Aubrey Blakely was enjoying this chapter of his life.
But then his life ended in a flash when a hit-and-run driver ran into Mr. Blakely at a high speed along Gratiot.
His family is now talking about it with our Sean Lay, who joins us live with more on who the man was. And Sean, he was just outside putting in an honest day's work when this happened.
A job that he absolutely loved, heading over there, being the sign man for an oil change business right there on Gratiot Avenue. You're right. His name is Aubrey Blakely. Just got off the phone with his sister today. Family is absolutely heartbroken tonight. The sister has this message for the man who hit him.
You know, he was a father, grandfather, brother, uncle. He very much loved his family so much.
She is too distraught to go on camera, but the sister of 65-year-old Aubrey Blakely is in shock tonight. Mr. Blakely was working a job he loved in retirement as the sign man for an oil change business on Gratiot Avenue. Yesterday afternoon, a driver left the road and plowed right into Aubrey, killing him. His family is devastated. Aubrey retired from GM and loved being with the crew at the oil change.
He was standing out there, as most of the people would tell us, they see him on Gratiot, dancing, singing, you know, getting the customers in for business. He attracted a lot of business for them.
Was that driver distracted, looking at a phone? The family of Aubrey Blakely says the driver must go right to police to explain.
They're going to find you, you know. It'd be nice if you would turn yourself in and explain what happened, you know, what made you jump the curb, you know, tell us something, you know. We can understand if it was an accident, just to hit someone and run away, no explanation. It's hard for the family to take.
What made you jump the curb and why didn't you stop? Police tonight still looking for that driver. You can see in the video there that we showed you, it's a maroon or red SUV. Perhaps someone will recognize the vehicle and call police. We're live tonight. Sean Lay, Local 4.
So, Sean, he was retired, but this was a job he really enjoyed and wanted to do.
65 years old, retired from GM, still wants to stay active. 65, certainly not old by any means. We like to be on his feet, like the camaraderie of the place. So why not? And he was out of the street when he was hit.
Exactly, as we saw in the video. All right, Sean.
Well, tonight we have learned 3 teenagers are in police custody for a string of robberies that turned deadly with the killing of a 29-year-old Dearborn woman. The teen suspects are 13, 14, and 17 years old. Police had been looking for them since Friday night after the murder of Saja Al-Janabi in front of her family's home on Tireman near Bingham. 2 of the boys were arrested Saturday after leading police on a car chase. On Monday, the 14-year-old child was arrested. We're told he was wearing a court-ordered tether that puts him at the murder scene. Police say these teens are also suspects in a recent gas station shooting in Detroit.
Metro Detroiter Paul Whelan continues to languish in one of Russia's toughest prisons, accused of spying. Well, now there is movement in Washington to force some kind of resolution in the case. Rod Maloney live with the new push from Whelan's family, but also, importantly, from elected officials. Rod?
Right, Devin. You know, David Whelan is Paul's brother, and he's been the PR guy for this operation, the family doing differing jobs. We've gotten to know him, but it's their sister, Elizabeth, who went to Washington, D.C., started walking the halls of Congress back in December. And now, 9 months later, she's showing enormous success, getting pretty much the entirety of Congress onto Paul Whelan's side.
I want to tell the world that I'm a victim of political kidnap and ransom.
When Paul Whelan gets near a TV camera these days, he does not hold back.
There's obviously no credibility to this situation.
9 months in a Russian prison without charges will do that to you. Today, Paul's sister held a press conference with much of the Michigan delegation in tow.
Paul is an extraordinary brother, but he is an ordinary American citizen who traveled to Russia to help a friend and became trade fodder in a geopolitical dispute which is not of his making.
She thanked the State Department, U.S. Ambassador to Russia John Huntsman, and the help Britain, Ireland, and Canada have offered Paul. But now Congress is stepping up.
We don't know the circumstances surrounding his arrest, but we should all be alarmed and outraged at this continued injustice. I urge you to stand with us as we work to bring Paul Whelan home.
U.S. Senator Gary Peters drew up a non-binding resolution that's getting bipartisan support. There's also help in the House to have Congress appeal for Paul's release in a very public vote very soon.
We cannot let any country ever treat an American citizen the way that they are treating Paul Whelan. And that's why we are here today, is to stand up and say enough is enough. Bring him home. Bring comfort to this family.
The one thing that Congress is saying is, look, in Russia, even in Russia, they at least tell you what you're charged with. But that is not the case with Paul Whelan. They say, please at least give some kind of information that says that he's a spy. Well, they say that the reason they haven't had any is because there isn't any evidence. And so they're going to continue pushing this. And of course, they're asking the president to step up and get in this as well. Reporting live, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
It's just been surreal. All right, Rod.
Well, it has been a much calmer and, oh, thank goodness, a quieter day in terms of weather today across Metro Detroit, but apparently we can see some storms tomorrow.
Not all that pretty a day. Let's get in Andrew, who's in for Ben tonight.
Good evening to both of you, and yes, at least it is a break no matter how you slice it, even with some of those clouds overhead, so hope everyone can enjoy it. Got one teeny shower trying to pop up here in Lapeer County. Overhead, we have low-hanging clouds here in Detroit, a few areas of drizzle, a few areas of mist, but overall mostly dry as we go through this evening. These showers and thunderstorms to our west, though, they have set their sights on Detroit and southeast Michigan, not for tonight, mainly for tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. Here are some of the gray skies over downtown Detroit. Because of all this cloud cover, we've only seen temperatures in the 60s and low 70s at most. 75 degrees over in Adrian, but 69 over at Metro Airport, 64 in Pontiac, 65 over at City Airport, where it's been brighter. Clouds have been a bit thinner. It's been warmer. It was 75 in Adrian, 71 there now. Even higher temperatures are on the way for tomorrow, but we'll talk about those showers and storms and your weekend forecast in minutes. Now remember, not only can you track showers and thunderstorms with the Local Forecasters app, you can track our temperatures, get our latest forecast as well. It puts interactive radar, severe weather alerts right in the palm of your hand. It's the Local Forecasters app, so download it now. Best of all, it's free. Search WDIV in your app store.
All right, thank you very much, Andrew. The founder of a deadly Oakland and Macomb County drug ring is going to spend decades in prison. Christopher Anderson of Pontiac was sentenced to 36 years in prison for his role in the heroin and fentanyl ring, which became known as TEAM, an acronym for To Eat and More. Authorities say it started back 10 years ago when Anderson gave his drug phone to his nephew before he was sent to prison on drug offenses. Well, once Anderson got out in 2015, he got back to work selling people fentanyl that caused at least one person's death. 11 others are charged with their involvement in the drug ring.
Millennials are already the subject of a great many stereotypes. As the father of 4 of them, I know that.
You know it very well.
A new study is not going to help.
Yeah, well, it shows millennials and men seem to be the worst tippers. Jason Colthorpe went to incur the wrath of those people between the ages of 23 and 38.
This study looked at all kinds of fields. Using our trusty Rod Maloney whiteboard, let's break it down for you. 23% of baby boomers tip their server more often than millennials. 20% higher on rideshare. 16% more at the salon. What's going on, millennials?
I'm a terrible tipper.
You're a terrible
Honestly,
tipper?
like the worst. Like when I backpacked Central America, like everyone, like all the Australians, they don't believe in tipping, so I kind of like adopted that.
When it comes to like restaurants, hair, nails, I tip because I think it's super important to build that relationship for one.
Rideshare?
Absolutely. I usually do at least 20%. Even if it's bad service, then I think you still should tip, but just maybe lower it, maybe do like 10 so they're getting something.
So you're Steve Buscemi from Reservoir Dogs.
Pretty much.
Let me just get this straight. You don't ever tip, huh?
I don't tip because society says I have to.
You just gotta do your job right. I mean, I'll give you a fat tip if you do. Like, if you go above and beyond, I'm gonna give you a huge tip. But just those people that like, you have to wait for your drink, you have to wait for your food, you have to do this and that. It's just, I'm falling back, man.
If you dare doubt this hard data from renowned think tank creditcards.com, Well, let's ask someone in the real world, like Hannah Kelly, who works the day shift at Sheba Express near the downtown post office on Fort.
I believe it. I mean, I personally tip because I'm in the service and I know how it feels to not be tipped. But, you know, you got people living off of tips or working, you know, going to school and working at the same time. People come in, think that's just their job and don't want to tip them.
So what's your message to the rest of the millennials who aren't tipping as well as you are?
Tip, because one day you might be in that position.
So come on, millennials, it's up to you. These are hard numbers. It's up to you to change them.
Are you quite finished?
Yeah.
No respect.
Baby boomers. In Detroit, Jason Colthorpe, Local 4.
Oh, that's very nice.
Oh, those two have a very good friendship.
Now, interesting, the study also talked about men not tipping. He didn't spend as much time on that as he did on millennials.
No, he didn't. I think he liked giving the millennials a hard time. But I think everyone, if you work in the service industry, you get it. Help others out.
So right.
Well, time for a check of the national stories you'll see ahead at 6:30 on NBC Nightly News.
Standing by with a tip for us for the night, Lester Holt in New York with a preview. Hi, Lester.
I'll put something in the jar, I promise. Devin and Karen, coming up tonight, the growing outrage, millions of dollars missing from the paychecks of thousands of Americans. The mystery tonight, where did all that money go? Plus, NBC News investigates the alarming grip China has on U.S. drugs, why experts warn it could become a national security threat.
Yeah.
So, Lester, what kind of drugs are we talking about here?
You know, a lot of drugs that are very commonly used in this country. We're talking about essentially the ingredients that make up medications that Americans rely on every day. We'll look at why we're so reliant on China and why this could be dangerous in the minds of some when we see it coming up on Nightly News.
Yeah, exactly right. All right, Lester, thanks very much. We'll see you about 20 minutes from now. America's battle with the bulge, the new list of the most obese states in America and where Michigan ranks. We've got that in good health.
And just when you thought you knew what to expect along I-75, changes are coming this weekend to the construction zone. That's next.
Star-studded premiere week rolls along on Ellen. Today it was Reese Witherspoon sharing some laughs. Tomorrow, Sean Hayes, always good for more than a laugh. Ellen coming along here at 3 p.m. on Local 4.